Welcome back to the Crochet Karate. So as my friends over at yarnspirations.com, I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the bean stitch, and this is a swatch created by Jeannie. She has some new designs coming up available where this stitch is being used. This stitch is double-sided, as you see. So I'm going to do things a little differently today. I'm going to show you immediately how to do the bean stitch, and then we're going to run through the swatch so that you can plan to do larger afghans if you wish, or any kind of things that you would like to design using this stitch. I'll show you the secrets. So let me show you how to do the bean stitch. What you're seeing here is the puff stitch. So the bean stitch is similar to it, but it's not the same, and you'll see that coming very clearly because when we go to look at the bean stitch, you see that it's more interwoven and more solid. So what we're going to do then is that we're going to start a row. So we're just going to chain one, and you're going to single crochet in the first one, and then we're going to start immediately to do the bean stitch. So we actually skip the next stitch and go to the second over, and I want you to insert your hook into that stitch. So this is the beginning of a bean stitch. So insert into the stitch, pull through and hold it onto the hook. Yarning over, going into the same stitch, pull through and then go through and pull through. You now have 4 loops onto the hook. Do it one more time. So wrap the yarn into the same stitch, pull through, and now you have 6 loops on the hook. Your bean stitch is now almost complete. You're going to yarn over and pull through everything just like you see it. To seal the deal, you need to chain one, and then that completes your stitch. This chain one space that we're going to play with, we're going to access it later when you come across the row. So to go to the next one, you're going to skip the next stitch, go to the second over. So insert in and pull through, and now the next 2 you're going to wrap and go in and pull through. There's 4 loops, and wrap and going through, pull through, and there's 6 loops. You're done. Pull through all 6. And then seal the deal with the chain one. One more time. So skip the next one, in, through, wrap, in, and through. There's 4 loops, in, and pull through. There's your 6, and pull through all 6 and lock it with the chain one. So that would be how you do it. You see it's more condensed than it is doing the puff stitch. So you do that all the way across, and then eventually if you keep your counts right, you'll end up in the last stitch, which will be a single crochet. I'm gonna get you there now, and I'm going to then show you how to start up the next row, and then after that the world is your oyster. So you're just gonna single crochet yourself into the final stitch, and you would have had to skip 1 stitch in order to do that. So now we're gonna move up. So what we need to do at this point then is that we just chain 1 to start, and we single crochet in the first one. Now we're gonna do the bean stitch. Do you see that these ones that are leaning over right here? See how everything is gathered into here? It looks like an eyelet. You want to ignore that. You want to go right here. So we're just gonna immediately stick your hook in, and we're gonna do a bean stitch. So we're just gonna go right into that space, pull through, wrap and in, and wrap and in. You got your 6 loops back, pull through all 6, chain 1, seal the deal. So we immediately jump to the next bean stitch. So see the space right here? So this is gathering them all. That's like an eyelet. You want to ignore that. You want to go here and pull through, and you got your 6, chain 1 to seal the deal, and you keep just moving across like that, and you get used to the rhythm that the first stitch is not wrapped first, or the first loop, and you keep on moving across. And what this is doing is causing it to interlock onto each other, which is creating the bean stitch. So you can see it's very different from doing the puff stitch before. So what I'm gonna do now is that we're going to take you to an actual swatch to get you started, and let's talk to you about the multiples in order to achieve this, and let's do that next. So back to our sheet, this is an actual swatch. You can just make the information suit you. The whole key here is that you want to chain in an even number. So it can either be 20, 22, 24. As long as it's an even number, it'll be good to go. Because what's gonna happen is that row number 1, we're gonna single crochet, second chain from the hook, and that will give us an odd number for the remaining of the project that we need. So what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna have you chain 20, and if you want to make it bigger, then just chain in an even number and then work your way across. I am using a 5.5 millimeter size eye crochet hook. You can use Caron 1-pound yarn if you wish, and this is a really neat idea, and you can use any yarn as long as the hook matches the yarn. So let's begin to do a chaining of 20. So let's begin to do our swatch. We're just gonna start off with a slip knot first, and then we need to chain a total of 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So go in any even number that you wish, and then we're going to single crochet second chain from the hook. So there is the first one right here. We're gonna go here, turn it over and get the back hump of the chain, and I want you to single crochet in the back hump of the chain going all the way back across your chain. So regardless of the width, as long as it was an even number when you started, it'll work out. So single crochet in the chain all the way back. So I'm coming to the final chain here on the chain. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna take you across and then back, and then I'm gonna show you how to get back to a normal stitch just in case you want to. So turn your work and let's begin. We're gonna do the bean stitch right away. So to start the bean stitch, because we're on an edge, we want to chain one first and single crochet in the first chain. And now we're gonna do the bean stitch, and I've already showed that here in this video. So skip the next one, second chain from the hook, insert in, pull through, wrap, going in, pull through, and then wrap and in, pull through. Now you have 6 loops on the hook. That means you're done. Pull through all 6. Chain 1 to lock. Skip the next stitch and start the bean again. So immediately go in, pull through, wrap and in, and pull through, and wrap and in, and pull through. You have 6 loops back on the hook again. Pull through all 6 and chain 1 to lock. Chain 1, or sorry, skip 1, going into the next. So you're just gonna bean your way all the way across. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit, and just don't forget to chain 1s after you've done your bean. So I've never really seen this stitch before until Jeannie mentioned it, which is pretty awesome. It's nice to learn new things. That's why I'm addicted to the crochet hobby, is that there's always something new to learn. Now the trick is don't forget not to do a single crochet when you start. Remember the first one is just insert right in and just keep it onto the loop. So just skip 1 in, chain 1 to lock, okay, chain 1 to lock. Now you got the second 2 last stitches, so you're just gonna skip the next one and immediately just single crochet into the last one, and that was going all the way across the row. So we're gonna turn our work now, and you can see the texture is really on this side. So we're gonna then continue to do a bean across. So in Jeannie's designs, she kept the beans in sets of 6. So you have 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So when she did it, it's all in sets of 6. So this is row number 1 of the bean. So you're just gonna chain up 1 and single crochet into the first one. Now just gotta pull it apart. And when you pull it apart, do you see that this is an exposed gap? That's where you're going to play. You're not gonna play in the tops where everything is being gathered in. We've already talked about that in this tutorial. So you immediately bean right in there. So just you've single crocheted, just going into that space and do your bean. Okay, once you get your 6 back on there, pull through, chain 1 to lock. So do you see when you pull it apart, it's right there. And chain 1 to lock. Just pull it apart if you don't see it. And this is causing it to rest in beside it, which creates kind of an interlocking look to your project. This also really thickens up the project as well. So if you like a weighted afghan, this is a great way to do it. And now that you know how to go across, what we're going to do in the next row is how to get back to being a regular stitch, just in case you would like to do that. So make sure you lock it. And then so the last one here, chain 1 and single crochet into the final. So we're gonna turn our work. So you can either continue to do the beans so that you end up with a nice section of beans, or you can continue back to what you were doing. So to continue back to regular stitch work, to keep yourself in balance with the chain with the stitch counts, chain 1 and single crochet in the first one. Now right where you would have done the bean is where you want to play. So right where you would have done the bean, you're going to place in 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. So pull apart, and right where you would have beaned, again 2 single crochets. So you're going to apply 2 single crochets in the spacing where you would have done a bean, and this will take your stitch counts back to where they should be. The trick is to make sure that when you get to the other side that you want to make sure the last stitch gets 2 single crochets. When I was doing this as a prototype, I was missing that instruction that Jeannie had written. I just overlooked it, and therefore I was missing a stitch because of it. So there's 2 into each one, and then the very final stitch you're going to place in 2. You think it's gonna be an odd thing to do, but it's not, and then that returns you back. So you can just turn your work, you can single crochet again, or you can just keep that as a space and then add more beans if you wish. So chain up 1, let's just put some beans in there, and then just immediately skip 1 and bean into the next. So the single crochets kind of break it up a little bit for you, and it's kind of neat, right? Chain 1 to lock, skip 1, bean, chain 1 to lock. So you can see that it kind of provides that, and so when you saw my other example here, when I can just zoom out a little bit, like I did 6 beans like she was suggesting, and then I put 3 layers of single crochet, and then I beaned again, and it gives you a really unique look. So this is how you do the bean stitch. This is a swatch and how to do the bean. We'll talk to you again real soon. Bye bye now.